You're just too distracting for our patients." Those words hit Emily Carter like a punch as she stood frozen in the staff lounge at St. Mary's Hospital in Dallas, Texas. It was May 28, 2025. At 27 years old, Emily wasn't just known for her skill as a nurse, she was also admired for her presence. Tall, with rich, flowing dark hair and a figure that naturally caught the eye, she had always carried herself with professionalism and care. But today, it seemed, her looks had become a problem. Emily was called into a meeting that morning. The human resources manager barely looked at her as he handed over a termination letter. The reason? Inappropriate attire and causing discomfort among patients and staff. Emily was shocked. She wore the same standard scrubs as every nurse in the hospital. Her only fault was how her body naturally looked beneath them. Humiliated and heartbroken, Emily packed her things and left the hospital where she had devoted so much of herself. She had believed her work, the long hours, the care for patients, the dedication, would speak louder than her appearance. But now, she was being punished for something she couldn't change. That evening, Emily called her older brother, Captain James Carter, a United States Army officer just back from deployment overseas. She hesitated at first, not wanting to add to his burdens. But James knew something was wrong. "Emily, what happened?" he asked softly. Tears came as she told him everything. When she finished, James was silent for a moment, jaw clenched. "So they fired you because of how you look," he said, his voice thick with disbelief and anger. Emily whispered, "They said I was a distraction." The very next morning, James put on his full dress uniform, medals shining, and drove straight to St. Mary's Hospital. He walked through the front doors with calm purpose. Nurses, staff, and even patients stopped to look. Some recognized him from news stories about his military service. At the front desk, James asked firmly, "I need to speak with the hospital administrator." Within minutes, he was led to a conference room where the human resources manager and hospital administrator waited, looking uneasy. "Captain Carter, how can we assist you today?" the administrator asked. James stood tall. "I'm here about my sister, Nurse Emily Carter. I understand she was terminated because of her appearance." The HR manager shifted uncomfortably. "Captain, we have policies to keep a professional environment." James's voice rose slightly, but not in anger, more in authority. "Professionalism? Emily has worked double shifts, sat with grieving families, saved more lives than you can count. She's been a bright light in this hospital, and now you say she's unfit because of her body?" The room fell silent. "In the United States Army, we don't judge people by how they look. We judge them by their actions, their discipline, and their ability to lead. And I will not stay quiet while a medical institution reduces my sister to a distraction." He stepped closer. "I will take this public. I will speak to the media, legal advocates, anyone who needs to hear this. Because what happened to her, it's not just wrong, it's disgraceful." True to his word, James went online that afternoon and posted a photo of Emily smiling warmly in her scrubs. His caption shared the story of her firing. Within hours, the story exploded. Headlines read, "Nurse fired for being too attractive. Her Army brother's response sparks outrage." Comments flooded in from all over the world. Thousands of nurses shared their own experiences, times they'd been told to cover up, wear baggier clothes, or hide their femininity. Women's rights groups and workplace equality advocates joined in, resharing the post and raising their voices. National news outlets picked up the story. Interviews with Emily and James aired on television. Their story highlighted not only Emily's personal injustice, but also the bigger problem of appearance-based discrimination in healthcare. The public response to Emily's story was immediate and powerful. Social media exploded with messages of support, outrage, and solidarity. People from all walks of life, nurses, doctors, patients, and everyday viewers, shared their own stories of facing unfair judgment because of their appearance. Many nurses revealed times when they were told to tone down their femininity or wear loose clothing to avoid distracting others. Emily's experience was not isolated. It reflected a broader, deeply rooted issue in workplaces everywhere. The wave of support pushed national news outlets to pick up the story. Emily and James appeared on interviews, sharing their perspective and shining a light on the harsh reality of appearance-based discrimination in healthcare. Their message was clear. Professionalism isn't about how someone looks. It's about the care, dedication, and skill they bring to their work. Facing mounting public pressure, St. Mary's Hospital finally stepped forward. The hospital administration issued a formal apology, acknowledging their mistake and promising to revise internal policies. They committed to retraining staff to prevent discrimination and to fostering a more inclusive environment. But for Emily, the apology came too late. The trust she had in the place where she gave so much had been broken. While the hospital scrambled to fix its image, a new opportunity appeared for Emily. Houston Wellness Medical Center, a leading healthcare facility known for its inclusive policies and respect for diversity, reached out. They had followed the story and were impressed by Emily's professionalism, strength, and courage. Without hesitation, they offered her a position. On her first day at Houston Wellness, Emily felt a stark contrast. The atmosphere was warm and welcoming. Colleagues greeted her with genuine smiles and respect. There were no whispers, no sideways glances, no judgment. Here, she was valued for her talent, compassion, and dedication, not her appearance. Walking the hospital halls, she felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The humiliation she had endured began to fade, replaced by a growing confidence. Emily's story didn't just end with a new job, it sparked a conversation that rippled across the country. It made people rethink how workplaces, especially in healthcare, judge their staff. The idea that a nurse's appearance could be deemed distracting was challenged and rejected by thousands. Thanks to James's bold stand, the public was reminded that respect must go beyond appearances. James's actions showed the power of speaking up. By wearing his uniform and demanding accountability, he made it clear that such discrimination is unacceptable. His voice gave strength to Emily's and to many others who had stayed silent. Their story inspired people to stand firm against unfair treatment and to advocate for equality in the workplace. In the months that followed, Emily settled into her new role, thriving both personally and professionally. She became a symbol of resilience and hope for others facing similar challenges. The support from her brother, the community, and her new colleagues helped her heal and grow stronger. Her journey is a reminder that no one should ever be judged by their looks. True professionalism comes from commitment, skill, and heart. In a world too quick to focus on appearances, Emily's experience shows that character and courage are what truly matter. She didn't seek revenge or bitterness. Instead, Emily fought for something greater: respect, fairness, and dignity. And in standing up, she changed not only her own life, but helped start a wider movement for change. Before we finish, we want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Have you or someone you know ever faced unfair treatment because of appearance? Share your story in the comments below. If Emily's story moved you, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment. Your support helps us bring more real stories like this to light. Thanks for watching. Remember, never let anyone shame you for who you are. Stand tall, be proud, and keep fighting for respect.